Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about Robinhood lying about their earnings results and how you can best handle and best deal with the emotions that are the AMC roller coaster. So stay tuned and let's make some money. But guys, before I dive into the video, I just want to give a massive shout out to the 4,100 of you that have currently dinged that notification bell, because you guys are always the first to watch a new video as soon as it's released. So guys, be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell if you haven't already so that you don't miss another video just like this one. And just a quick one before I dive in with the key information. If you haven't already checked out my line of AMC related merch, be sure to check out the link down in the description below. And also, if you haven't yet signed up with Moomoo to get your free shares, there's also a link down in the description below for that as well. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, what happened with Robinhood earnings? Now they claim no loss and actually a gain in Q2. This is pure insanity. If you remember back to a few days ago, Robinhood reported their earnings with a beat on revenue of 565 million versus 559 million estimate, but a massive loss on earnings per share. That loss was $2.16 compared to a prediction of only 26 cents loss. Now interestingly, Robinhood did actually start out by reporting the true EPS of $2.16 loss, but then updated it and changed it to 11 cents of profit. So what's going on? Maybe the Robinhood app has been skewed to show adjusted earnings per share that somehow adds back those fair value gains and losses. Basically, Robinhood are just trying to paint their loss in a much brighter picture by adding back non-cash movements to make it look like they actually delivered a profit. But you can't really mismatch different forms of earnings per share. If all companies are showing just a flat earnings per share, Robinhood shouldn't really be going and showing an adjusted earnings per share. It seems very, very sneaky of Robinhood to change the data for Robinhood on their Robinhood app. Now, I think that's what you call a conflict of interest. It even wouldn't surprise me if Robinhood somehow managed to sneak their way into the top of every single search results, just so more customers see the stock and more customers decide to buy it. I think this was actually a screenshot from the day earlier when they actually reported the actual loss per share, but then updated it to show a profitable loss per share, or maybe the adjusted loss per share. Overall, I personally think it's very sneaky, and again, as usual, I would probably stay away from buying the Robinhood stock because it's also clearly manipulated by the hedgies so they can make as much money as possible. But let's get on to the main meat and potatoes of today's video. How do you handle the emotional ride of AMC? There are things in life that involve a significant amount of emotional energy. Here's a couple of things that come to mind. Buying a car. Haggling prices is exhausting. Car dealers know the ins and outs of the car buying experience. They use this knowledge to sell those cars at top dollar pricing. The back and forth negotiating can leave the car buyer frustrated and force them to settle. And telling my kids no. Teenagers have a lot of ammunition to use when trying to get their way. They will work hard to weigh you down and even pit parents against each other. And that sounds a bit like being an AMC shareholder. With the emotional warfare we face every single day, it's easy to trade in those diamond hands for paper ones. It's easy to get worn down by the pitting of apes against apes. That's what hedge funds are banking on. So how do we maintain a brave face and firm resolve when holding week after week? The key is having a strategic plan for the weekend to de-stress and unwind. When the bell rings on Monday morning, the difference between a true ape and those who are clinging on to their shares with a pinky finger are the apes who have taken care of their emotional selves over the weekend. Here are 6 things you can do to maximise your weekend for stronger resolve on Mondays. Number 1, of course, is manage social media. Reddit, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, news clips, articles, and everything else in between. These are fields of great information and quality due diligence. But for every post, there will be a crowd of naysayers, meme creators, and those playing devil's advocate. Things can go south in a hurry. At some point, the noise of public opinion can be deafening. Managing your intake of voices has to be prioritised. While a good chain of guerrilla memes can be quite entertaining, they can also be a rabbit hole that consumes way too much time, and could potentially lead you to being more stressed out than you were in the first place. The temptation to respond to the FUD can also drag you into hours of social media content. Limit your time online and stick to the basics of your best practices in researching. Number 2 is one I'm very keen on, and that's to spend time outdoors. If you're like me, you've been gobbling up as much information as you can throughout the week. This equates to massive amounts of screen time. Logging too much time on the devices can bring about tight shoulders, headaches, sore eyes, and all kinds of back issues. So take it outside. Go on walks around the neighbourhood, take in some nature, accomplish a project around the house. After weeks of charts, unrealistic expectations, and aggressive attacks by AMC opponents, life can feel like you're not getting anywhere. Therefore, accomplishing a project is an easy win. You've got something done around the house, you've ticked off your to-do list, and you can refresh and recharge, ready for the week ahead. The human condition can only handle so much opposition and disappointment. Accomplishing a project around the house or at work can stem the tide of frustration. Number 3, hang with your family and friends without talking about AMC. You don't want to be that friend that doesn't shut up about one specific thing, whether it's AMC or anything else in life really. I've had my fair share of snide comments and rolled eyes as I've waxed eloquently about my favourite stock. My wife is gracious. She knows I'm all in and tolerates me. She even asks how my little stock is doing. Of course, my little stock is going to put her in her dream car and land her on a tropical island paradise for a month someday. The old adage is true. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. You need regular breaks from discussion of naked shorting, hedge funds and the DTCC. The temptation will be to turn the conversations from the pool party to dark pools. Resist. Enjoy the poolside environment and leave the dark pools for Monday. Number 4, invest time in your favourite stock's business. Another personal favourite of mine. Like marriage, you can lose sight of the endgame and forget why you got into it in the first place. The tentacles of government corruption, unfairness in the market, and corporate greed can have you focus so much on what you're against. But we all need to step back and remember what we like about our stock. AMC brings us great entertainment in a comfortable environment. They provide the necessary distractions from the everyday stresses of normal working life. AMC's CEO, Adam Aron, has been a solid force for our company. He's had to play a strategic game of industrial chess against multiple players, all while building his brand, leading his employees, and appeasing his stockholders. The ape army can also be a source of light in the dark places of the squeeze. Reading and talking with other apes and hearing their stories of why they hold can be downright inspirational. And if these truths don't do it for you, you can always take the family out for an AMC movie experience to see why owning a part of this company is worth every penny and ounce of holding. Number 5, put the phone away at night. I've never seen a more committed group of people gathered together for a cause than I have seen with AMC stockholders. The zeal and fortitude with which they come at research and encouraging one another is outstanding. And I can say that's absolutely true. All of you guys show me so much love on each and every single one of my videos, and I can't ever thank you enough for every happy and kind comment that you all leave. It's also a constant flow of information, as in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With new information and research flowing into the internet constantly, there's the temptation to constantly check for new information all through the day and all through the night. And that isn't healthy. We know the mother of all short squeezes will happen and it will take days to play out. The chances of the squeeze happening over a weekend or overnight are minimal. Volume is simply too low for hedge funds to find buyers at the moment. So rest easy. Seriously, rest. Easy on the late nighters and get plenty of sleep. Another one I want to add in here is don't forget to hydrate plenty and exercise sufficiently. If you're sat at a desk all day, like I tend to be, you can find yourself very sedentary and not really moving. Get up and go for a walk outside, get some fresh air, and get those legs working. And finally, number 6, do your AMC due diligence on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. With a clear head and a rested body, you can easily do your prep work on Sunday afternoon and evening. Most bloggers and YouTubers have wisely spent their weekend following the above rules and are preparing for a new week of possibilities. Clearly, other than me, who seems to make AMC videos every single weekend as well as every single weekday, but I do it all for you guys. Their content rolls out at the opportune time of Sunday so that their followers can step into a new week reloaded for whatever gets thrown our way on Monday morning at the bell. You'll also find that the apes are prepping emotionally on Sundays, and the subs and Twitter feeds are filled with anticipation and encouraging posts to get you psyched for the week. It's like a Sunday night pep rally around that ape community. We need you at your sharpest. If we are truly going to see life-changing money, it will take an army of apes who have a healthy resolve and a steady mind. Make sure you're getting the rest you need and are taking advantage of the downtimes to refuel yourself. No rocket ever made it to the moon without that fuel. And this article was written by Grant Medford, and you can find him on Twitter. I also wanted to clear up a quick bit of FUD that I've seen posted a number of times, which is Citadel advisors selling off $408 billion in stocks. This specific post makes it sound like Citadel have pretty much liquidated their entire position. But if you go to Citadel's 13F, filed with the SEC on the 16th of August for the end of Q2, you can see that they still hold all of their positions down here as I scroll through all of them. Their total net holdings are still $446 billion. Maybe the reason why it shows that they sold $408 billion is because maybe they sold it from one Citadel entity to another Citadel entity. Similarly to the video that I made earlier about how Citadel have been hiding money overseas in their Cayman Island accounts. Maybe they've just transferred all of their shares from their Citadel US entity into their Cayman Island entity, and therefore it looks like they've technically sold. But do just remember that Citadel still own $446 billion of securities and therefore have not sold their positions. Guys, be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you think about Robinhood lying about their earnings results and what you think about managing your emotions over the weekend. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers!